Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Anime Ambu here, coming at you with part 15 of What If Naruto Was Like Minato, otherwise known as Return of the Flash on Wattpad. I haven't said that in a while, so that's my bad. Listen, so, first and foremost, man, I'm tired. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for not posting over the last couple days this series. I've been busy, and I tried to record this all of yesterday, but my microphone wasn't turned on, and I'm hoping that mine is turned on today. Yes. So I've tried to record this video like 4 times. It feels like this video is cursed, and every time it's been like a 30-40 minute recording session, and it just doesn't record my voice. So I don't know what the problem is, but I'm hoping this time it does. If it does record my voice this time, I'm hoping that we'll actually be able to edit this one, because I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to tried a new style. I've found an editing app that is free, because I already have to pay for the thumbnail subscription, microphone, and I ain't got that much money left, bro. I'm putting all my money into savings. I want to save for a car. So yeah. But yeah, so I'm just looking to edit this part. Probably put some music. I've only got like 3 songs because they're so weird. All these editing softwares, they get weird. But I think I found one that's gonna allow me to use the music that I've got stored up, and I've got some songs that I want to play. I think they're all right. I think they're gonna be okay. But with that out of the way, let me know how you guys are doing down in the comment section below. Sorry for being gone for so long. I know it was a couple days, but still. And yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. I respond to all comments. And if it's a reply and I don't respond, just comment again saying that you replied, and I'll see it. But yeah, so I respond to all comments, and I heart all comments, and I like all comments, and I appreciate them as well. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, they make me happy every time I see a comment notification on my phone. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's record this one again. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, thankful for the dimness of the room. He laid off on the bed, staring into nothing and thinking of nothing, and cleared all the sleep from his eyes. Sitting up, he was happy to find that he no longer felt exhausted and tired, like yesterday evening. I wish I could feel the same. In fact, he could say with certainty that aside from having chakra control problems, he was in top physical condition. Looking around the room, he saw his 2 teammates sprawled out on their beds. Like him, they hadn't bothered to change or freshen up. They had probably fallen out a little after. He took the opportunity to hit the shower first and moved to the bathroom. 20 minutes later, he was clean and fresh with a new pair of clothes, and Sakura and Sasuke were just beginning to stir when he walked out of the bathroom. He grinned at their half-sleepy forms. "Hey guys," he exclaimed a bit too loudly. He grinned a bit when they started to grumble angrily. No one liked loud noises in the morning. He chuckled. "Anyways, I'm headed off to breakfast in the canteen. The bathroom's free if you want it." He walked to the door, and just when he was about to open it was when he turned around and smirked. "I don't know if the hot water's limited or not." Sasuke and Sakura froze for a moment, and for a moment they just sat there like that. Damn, you heard that voice crack? It was crazy. Sasuke was the first to snap out of it and was about to rush into the bathroom when the door was knocked, causing the 2 Genin to pause momentarily. If Naruto had not been a center, he probably would have slapped an explosive tag on the door and backed away. However, he sensed 2 familiar chakra signatures outside, Kakashi Sensei and Gigi. Didn't know that they would come this early. Then again, this is Orochimaru they were talking about, he thought. Heroes in Kakashi's serious faces greeted him on the outside. Behind him, Sakura and Sasuke tensed up for a second before relaxing. Naruto wordlessly stepped aside to let them through and close the door behind him. Hiruzen turned to Naruto and said in a tone that unconsciously caused Naruto to straighten his back. "Oh shit, dude, Iruka said that you encountered Orochimaru in the forest." Naruto nodded just as seriously. "Hi, Hokage-sama." He then recounted everything, beginning from the time when they first encountered him, how he was forcefully separated from his team, how he and Sasuke teamed up to take him down and failed spectacularly. "I don't know what happened after I was knocked out, but I can take a guess," he said, glancing at Sasuke, who tensed up. Hiruzen and Kakashi both knew very well that when Naruto said he could guess something, it was worth witnessing. Naruto never guessed anything. He always observed, and when he had gathered all his facts, he connected them in such a way that it was hard to argue with him when he presented his deduction. Seeing Gigi and Kakashi's anticipating looks, he continued. I woke up a day after I was knocked out. I was mostly fine, but when I emerged from our hiding spot, I observed that we had been ambushed. An unconscious Lee was in the clearing. When I observed Team 10's face, they positively did not know when Lee had come, which meant Lee had arrived before Team 10 came to our aid. He was knocked out when I saw him, but he glanced at Sasuke, who was staring at him with a neutral face. Something was wrong with Sasuke. He didn't mince his facts. The whole room turned to face Sasuke, who had adopted a scowl. Naruto continued his explanation. I felt a strange chakra emanating from it. It felt very evil, for lack of better words. It also caused him to become extremely ruthless while under its effects. What's more dangerous is that the feeling of the chakra was quite similar to what I felt from Orochimaru. Both Hiruzen and Kakashi had wide eyes at what had happened. Naruto seemed not to notice their shock as he still continued to speak. Damn, sorry, I just woke up. He was covered in strange black marks that were spread over the left side of his body. Judging from his euphoric and ruthless behavior, I'd say he was under the effects that are quite similar to when shinobi receive a major boost in power. However, an accidental slip caused him to get knocked out, and while it was only for a fleeting moment, I saw the marks receding to underneath the left collarbone. That confirmed Hiruzen and Kakashi's worst suspicion. Hiruzen just turned to Sasuke and asked, but it was more like an order. Sasuke, can I please see? Oh, no. Can you please remove your shirt for a moment? Hi, Hokage-sama, came the quiet response from the boy. Sasuke deftly pulled his shirt off, and all the occupants in the room were wide-eyed, including Naruto, when they saw a strange mark on the left-hand side of his neck. Its appearance not unlike the three tomoe of a Sharingan. Oh, Kami, Hiruzen breathed out. This was not good at all. Orochimaru had come into the Chunin exams and had put his curse mark on Sasuke Uchiha of all people, who was a major flight risk. Orochimaru knew that Sasuke carried a deep revenge-fueled desire within him to avenge his clan. Oh my god, dude. By killing his brother. He had offered a source of power and gave a glimpse of its effects to Sasuke. Hiruzen became even more worried that Sasuke will go to Orochimaru in hopes of controlling that power. Naruto curiously asked in disgusted fascination, what the hell is that? He had a feeling that this was quite familiar. Hiruzen turned towards Naruto. That is the curse mark of Orochimaru. I'm sure you know this, Naruto, he said, giving a knowing look that confused the others in the room. Naruto furrowed his brow and thought, and it immediately came to him. Anko-sensei showed the same thing once on her neck. Oh damn, he breathed out. Sasuke was starting to get irritated that the others were talking about him as if he was not even in the room. What are you talking about? He near snarled at the three. Naruto turned and walked to Sasuke, pressing 2 fingers into the seal. While the sensory abilities were still blocked, being in contact with the seal negated the handicap. For a moment, he just felt it out, brushing against it with a tiny amount of his chakra. He ignored Sasuke's flinch at the burn of the seal and thought for a moment on how to explain it to someone who did not know the F in Fuinjutsu. The seal, it might sound extremely bad on my part, but it's quite a beauty. It's so complicated, so intricate that it'll take years of study to try and find a counter to it. It's like a storage seal that can only be activated by you. If I had to make a guess, judging from when I previously observed you using the seal, it has Orochimaru's chakra in it. Not exactly the same, but just enough to tell that it's similar. He laid out his analysis. Here's a nodded. Very good analysis, Naruto. That is exactly what it is. However, there is a risk in using it, a grave one. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. What is it? Naruto narrowed his eyes at not just Sasuke's question, but also the way he asked it. He could not say with certainty, but he almost felt like Sasuke was considering using that chakra. Naruto cut him before Juju could speak. In the short time that you used it, it probably must have felt euphoric to you. A rush of power so potent and heightened, unparalleled by anything you've ever felt before. Am I wrong? He pinned Sasuke with a scare that advised him not to lie. Not that he could anyways. Kakashi and Hiruzen keeping a close eye on him. Yeah, Sasuke answered hesitantly. Hiruzen and Kakashi were in awe of Naruto's deducing skills. If not for both of them knowing who his parents were, they would have thought he belonged to the Naruto clan. Naruto picked up from his answer, almost mumbling more to himself rather than his superiors in the room. And Whatever feels to us that way, we're bound to resort to using it again and again. Orochimaru must have kept this in mind when he designed the seal. Anyone who used its power would be tempted to use it repeatedly until it became dependent upon its power. Turning to Sasuke, he said in a pleading tone, Sasuke, no matter what, you have to absolutely avoid using that seal. I was told that it was nothing but a slave collar, a way for Orochimaru to make you kneel to him. Naruto carefully studied Sasuke's expression, and by the end of the explanation, Sasuke looked angry that someone tried to make him dance to their tune, but underneath that anger, Naruto could see it. Sasuke was leaning towards using it when the situation was worse. Judging by the look on Gigi and Kakashi's face, they had seen it too. Here's it spoke in a commanding tone. Oh my god. We have no choice but to seal it immediately for the good of others and your own. Naruto raised an eyebrow. How will you seal it? There's only one such seal in existence that too relies on the will of the recipient. Kakashi nodded. I will use Fuja Hoin, the evil concealment seal. But as Naruto said, there's a catch. He said, glancing towards Sasuke. What is it? Naruto took up from where Kakashi left off. The evil containment seal is only as powerful as you want it to be. The stronger your will to resist using that chakra, the better will the effects of the seal be, and better will it be contained. Kakashi stepped forward. Come now, Sasuke. You can relax after the sealing is over. We must do it now. Naruto smiled slyly. I didn't know you were versed in the delicate art of sealing, Sensei. Kakashi turned with a bored eye. I picked up a thing or two from my Sensei. Taking hold of Sasuke, who had put his shirt on. He vanished in a swirl of leaves. Hiruzen proceeded to leave his soccer and close the door to the bathroom. Gigi, he called out. This was his chance to get his seal taken off. He lifted his shirt and jacket and molded some chakra to make the seal visible. Can you remove this seal? Orochimaru placed it on me, and I don't think I want my teammates to know my status just yet. Hiruzen studied the seal and saw what it was. I can do it, but you better brace yourself. He warned before 5 kanji lit up on his fingers. On the count of 3. 1, boom! He slammed his fingers on the seal, exclaiming, Go Kain! He watched in satisfaction as the seal came off. Naruto, who was unprepared and as such fell on his butt. The 5 elements seal disappeared from on top of his seal. Naruto glared at the old man. Where was 2 and 3, old man? Sarutobi shrugged innocently. 2, 3, all the best for the next phase. He swinged away just in time to avoid a barrage of shuriken. Naruto grumbled in irritation, but brightened up when he felt his conscience being prodded by a familiar presence. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them, he was in the valley again, underneath the tree that Kurama enjoyed so much. And the demon sat lazily lying underneath it. His tail swaying behind him lazily but magnificently. He stared at Naruto intensely, who grinned back. Naruto walked up to Kurama's head and sat down in front of him. Are you alright, Kurama? Kurama scoffed, sending hot air from his nostrils. Seals this. Such a seal can't affect me, but it did affect the seal your father placed on you. We aren't mutually inclusive. Naruto nodded in understanding. Kurama spoke again. By the way, nice job on trying to fight Orochimaru. You were quite efficient in your attacks, if only to compensate for your weakness. Naruto simply waved the comment away. He had gotten used to Kurama's way of complimenting a long time ago. Also, the tag team that you formed with Uchiha Sasuke was quite impressive, considering how impulsive he acts towards you. Naruto turned serious. Sasuke will do whatever is necessary to survive to face Itachi someday, even if it means admitting his weakness right now and saving him. Kurama gave a grunt to acknowledge him, but Naruto knew that Kurama could care less about Sasuke or any Uchiha in general. Well, alright then, I'll see you later, Kurama. Kurama nodded and settled down for a nap. Naruto then exited his mindscape and opened his eyes in the real world. Only 5 seconds had passed. Naruto smirked at the time difference and proceeded to breakfast. Alright, I'm skipping forward a little bit, bro. I've recorded this freaking part like 17 times. I swear, you don't even understand how many times I've recorded this single part. All that happens right now. Okay? I'm going to skip a little forward because this is really bugging me how many times. You don't even understand how many times I've recorded this part. So I'm just going to skip forward. Luckily, it's nothing important. So listen. Alright. What happens basically is that, they do. You know how there's like the preliminary to the finals with them inside. You know the scene where like Rock Lee fights Gaara and Rock Lee drops his weights and all that jizzy jazz. You know what I'm talking about? And like, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, it's just that. So Sasuke fights Yorui. Sasuke wins. Shikamaru fights this girl named fucking Kin, and Shikamaru wins. Tamari fights Tenten. Tenten wins, and all the other fights go the same. So I'm just gonna skip forward to Naruto's fight against Kiba because this is anyways the most important part. And also, I'm not recording this again. You don't even like. Is my microphone off? You don't even understand how many times I've recorded this singular part and the microphone has been off. And I'm not doing it again. I'm gonna lose my mind. I haven't posted in like 3 days. That's because I can't record this video, bro. Like this video is cursed. This one video is cursed. I swear it. This video is cursed. I digress. Let's just continue. It was finally his turn, and his match was against Kiba. Naruto just sighed at the matchup, whereas Sakura and Kakashi seemed to wince. Even Sasuke felt his eye twitching. Kiba was in for a rough time. Ha! We got lucky, Akamaru! Kiba gloated, jumping down into the arena. Akamaru gave an enthusiastic bark of agreement. Naruto also jumped down into the arena. Now was the time to show a little of what he was capable of. Kiba didn't know of his true strength like his own team and Team 10. So he was likely to be underestimated. On the other hand, Kiba was likely to stick to clan techniques. This was a great opportunity to learn Kiba's way of fighting. He wouldn't be revealing anything significant of his own. Naruto stood across from Kiba as Hayate stood between them. Kiba smacked his right fist into his other palm. I feel bad for you, Naruto. I'll end this in just one punch. Naruto showed no reaction at all. In fact, the Konoha Jonin, except for Kakashi, were quite unnerved at the lack of reaction from the resident prankster of Konoha. His face was devoid of expression, eyes giving nothing away. It reminded them too much of a certain missing Uchiha. We all know who this is. Itachi. Hajime! That's what Gekko says. Hayate. Naruto didn't bother falling into a stance. First, he would let Kiba do all the work, showing him all its techniques. He was not disappointed when Kiba underestimated him and dashed forward in low tuning speeds. After getting on all fours and elbow on the way to get buried in his gut, Kiba grinned savagely when he neared Naruto. He didn't stand a chance against me. However, that thought was thrown out of the window when Naruto sidestepped at the last second. Kiba was going too fast to stop, so he just went past him. Naruto grabbed Kiba's jacket from behind and threw him towards Akamaru. Kiba grunted as he landed on his back, managing to flip up after landing. Naruto just stood there, arms at his side, and he called out, "Don't give less than your best, Kiba, or you won't even stand a chance of winning." Up at the stands, Kurenai frowned and turned to Kakashi. Kakashi, your Genin's being quite cocky, despite being the dead last of his batch. Kakashi nodded. He has every right to be. Kurenai scoffed and turned back to the fight. Kiba would thrash him, Kakashi. Naruto's no match for his speed. She missed the entirety of Team 7 wincing. If only you knew, they collectively thought. Who the fuck is that? If only you knew, they collectively thought. She was about to be proven wrong. Down in the arena, Kiba was scoffing. I don't need my best attacks to beat you, Naruto. However, Naruto was no longer in front of him. His eyes, along with all the Jonin present, widened. He turned around in almost a whiplash and panic gripped when he saw Naruto holding Akamaru by his front legs, the puppy whimpering in fear. Naruto's voice was as cold as his eyes. Is this enough of an incentive? Kiba gritted his teeth. I didn't even see him move. How is he this fast? And he's got Akamaru. Kiba didn't waste any more time. Akamaru! He tossed a pill into the open mouth of the dog. Naruto immediately dropped the puppy and retreated to a safe distance. Now I might get a warm-up at least. He was wrong. Immediately after Akamaru had swallowed the pill, he grew larger until he was a regular-sized dog with red fur. Akamaru dashed in a speed he did not possess earlier to Kiba's side. Kiba and Akamaru then dashed towards Naruto. When Kiba threw smoke bombs around Naruto, he expected Naruto to get disoriented and confused, allowing him to hit the boy easily. However, Naruto surprised everyone again when he flash-stepped out of the smoke field in an instant and looked at the smoke screen intently. All the Jonin suddenly realized what Naruto was doing. He was scouting, analyzing Kiba's techniques and strategies to develop a counter-strategy. So far, Naruto had gathered quite some info on his opponent, the Inuzuka clan, and employs Ninken to aid in their battle. From what I have seen until now, Kiba's style is purely utilizing his claws. It's purely offense, relying on speed and ferocity, and augmented by Akamaru. His fighting style utilizes his claws. Kiba's hot-headed, plunging headfirst into this situation without any strategies, believing he can overpower me with brute force and speed. However, he employs distraction tactics when brute force doesn't work. Smoke bombs were to confuse me and take advantage of that. It would allow Kiba to land his attacks. The whole train of thought took less than a second. Naruto knew Kiba had much more to reveal. Oi, Kiba, there's no one in there, you smelly dog. Of course, Naruto meant no offense. It was purely to provoke Kiba into attacking him with his strongest attack, revealing his trump card to all. As expected, Kiba took the bait and rushed out of the smoke stream with Akamaru, both snarling furiously. You'll pay for that, Naruto! Finally, he revealed it. He crouched on all fours with Akamaru climbing on his back. Gigo Ninpo, ninja art of beast mimicry. A puff of smoke revealed that Akamaru had transformed into Kiba. With both Kiba crouched on the ground, Kurenai smirked on the railing. Seems your student is done for, Kakashi. He may be fast, but not fast enough to avoid both of them at the same time. Kakashi just eye-smiled at her. Well, won't we see? In the arena, both the Kibas took off towards Naruto. Their speeds greatly increased, however, Naruto surprised everyone present when he nimbly dodged all of their efforts to land on him. What confused the Team 7, however, is that they didn't know Naruto incorporated the fighting style to be so flexible. They didn't know that Naruto had indeed incorporated the snake style to taijutsu in his own fighting style. This continued for about 10 seconds, after which Naruto decided that Kiba was still hiding his ultimate technique. He accidentally dodged Kiba by leaping into the air, thinking on how to make him reveal it. Kiba grinned when he saw Naruto leaping into the air to dodge Akamaru. It was pissing him off on how easily he was dodging them. He never knew that Naruto was capable of being this fast, but now he had their chance. Gotcha! The cry snapped Naruto out of his thoughts, noticing too late the twins swirling tornadoes towards him in midair. He cursed for a second for letting his concentration slip and immediately threw a kunai behind the duo before he got hit with them. Kurenai smiled in satisfaction as she saw Kiba using his strongest attack to smash Naruto into the ceiling of the arena. Your student has lost, Kakashi. Might as well go and collect him, because that was Kiba's strongest attack. Naruto won't be getting up anytime soon. Kakashi smirked beneath the mask. Well, it's not over yet, Kurenai. Kurenai narrowed her eyes and looked down, eyes widening along with Azuma and Guy when they figured out what happened. Kiba stood triumphantly over the downed form of Naruto. Hey, you might be tough, but not tough enough. Gotsuga is a crippling attack, and you just, huh? And the Naruto on the floor puffed into smoke, revealing just a kunai. Kiba spun around just in time to receive a blow to his stomach that sent him barreling into Akamaru. Naruto carefully kept his eyes on the real Kiba as they rolled. The next part of his plan required it. He taunted Kiba, I'm getting bored of this, Kiba. I'm finishing this now if you don't mind. Without a seal, a shadow clone popped up behind him. I'll give you only 30 seconds. Try to knock me out, will ya? With that, both of them separated, the clone going after Akamaru and Naruto facing Kiba. In the next 30 seconds, Naruto dodged 3 Gotsuga, all the while looking relaxed. He was waiting for the perfect opportunity, which arrived finally when Akamaru had to take a breath. Kiba barreled towards him with another Gotsuga, finally hitting him. The attack sent Naruto barreling into a wall on the other side, causing it to crack a little. Kiba was lightly panting as he stared down at the form of Naruto. That'll teach you to get me angry. However, panic gripped him for a second time in the whole fight when another puff of smoke revealed just who it hit, Akamaru lying on the ground unconscious and heavily injured, if the blood was anything to go by. He turned around with wide eyes to see Naruto and his shadow clone smirking, both sharing a fist bump, after which the clone dispelled. The Jonin above were dumbstruck. None had expected Naruto to substitute with Akamaru at the last second. Naruto had used a simple but a clever tactic to take Akamaru out of the fight. Now that Kiba was alone, the Konoha Jonin were rethinking the fact whether Kiba would be able to beat Naruto or not. Naruto said while smirking, now that your partner's out of the fight, it's your turn, Kiba. Kiba's eyes were wide in disbelief at how Naruto had completely turned the tables on him. Naruto, except for the punch that sent him into Akamaru, had not attacked him once. Instead, he just let the fight progress, letting Kiba do the work for him and taking Akamaru out instead of himself. Naruto created 4 shadow clones that popped into existence with a half ram seal. They all surrounded Kiba, who cursed at his situation. What happened next would be remembered by everyone. But the Naruto in front of Kiba punched him fast and hard, sending him into the Naruto behind him, who roundhouse kicked him into the Naruto on the left. That Naruto spun counterclockwise, and his left leg caught Kiba in the chest, sending him backwards into the 4th Naruto, who kicked Kiba so hard in the chin that Kiba swore he felt his teeth crack as he was sent flying across the arena in an arc. Naruto then jumped across the arena, having timed the jump such that he was above Kiba in midair. Ha! The cry was to denote the victory in his voice rather than the application of force. Spinning to gather momentum, he sent a punishing kick to Kiba's gut that sent him crashing into the ground, creating a mini crater. He landed in a crouch a few meters away, facing away from Kiba. He already knew that Kiba had passed out from the pain. He looked over to Hayate, who was confirming Kiba's condition. Finding him to be unconscious, Hayate rose and declared, "Winner, Uzumaki Naruto." The entire crowd, including Naruto's team, was speechless. The teams outside of Konoha were gaping at the blonde, who was not even out of breath. What kind of training did Konoha give this guy? The team from Suna had varying reactions. Kankuro was slightly sweating, not because of the punishment Kiba went through, but how effortlessly Naruto delivered it. Tamari had a hand over her mouth to prevent anyone from seeing that she was gasping in amazement. She had figured Naruto was strong, but not this strong. He had finished the fight with just a shadow clone and taijutsu, not to mention he didn't use any weapons except for a kunai, which he just used for a replacement. He had not given away any of his trump cards and could dish it out hard without resorting to use them. He wasn't even out of breath, but the reaction from Gaara was the one that worried them the most. "Uzumaki Naruto," he whispered, a crazed expression coming on his face. "You'll prove my existence." Naruto walked up the stairs confidently, but stopped when Kurenai stepped in front of him and I don't fucking know. A look on her face. "Was it really necessary for you to be so brutal?" Naruto folded his arms. "I fail to see why you're so insensate. I don't fucking know what the word is." Kurenai put her hands on her hips and glared at her hard. "I believe from your performance that you were skilled enough to simply knock him out. Why didn't you?" Naruto checked in his peripheral that all the Konoha nin on the railing were watching in interest. Turning his attention back to Kurenai, he said, "You won't understand. Besides, there are people my age who are way stronger than me. If this were a real battle, Kiba would have been dead 100 times over in 1 minute." He wanted to say more, but held it in. He just walked away, letting Kurenai take in his words. The Konoha nin had to admit that it was true. From the looks of it, Naruto had gone extremely easy on Kiba, not even putting much effort. If he had put effort, they didn't want to think about that. Alright, so that's it. I'm ending this part here. This cursed part, this episode, I am convinced is cursed. You don't even know how many times I've had to record this, re-record it, realize that my microphone was off 30 minutes into recording session. Oh my gosh, yo, you don't even know. I'm so glad that it's done. Hopefully this part's good. I hope you guys enjoy it. And now it's time to edit it and upload it. And yeah, that's going to take a little while too. So you guys probably aren't going to get this until later at night. Probably around 9 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock right now. So yeah, sorry about that. Sorry for not posting for a little while. I needed to take a little break. And I was also looking for different stories and looking for editing softwares and looking for a job and school. And there's been a lot of shit, man. There's been a lot of stuff. No lie. But I'm back to the grind. We're back on the grind. We hit 100. We're going to hit a 200 sooner or later. And we're on the grind. Sorry for the loud clap, but let's get it. Okay. It's your boy, the Anime Ambu here. And deuces. I'm out.